Okay, just like always when it's pictures like this, chances are very good that you're going to have to figure out these areas for accumulations or critical points or something. So let's just say this is 1/2 pi times r is 1. Same thing but negative, and a bigger radius. And this is 1/2 base times height. The width of the base is not 4, it's from 1 to 4, and that is 2. And this is half of a unit square, so this is negative 1/2. Be careful with your pluses and minuses. Okay, whatever. F has a relative max when F prime goes from positive to negative. That's the justification. And that happens at -3 and 4. Endpoints are never relative maxes. Okay, so point of inflection is when F double prime, which is F prime's prime, which is the slope of F prime, changes sign, not just equals 0. And it has to change. We saw one of these recently. It has to change from positive to negative or negative to positive. It can't just change from positive to 0, for instance. All right, but that happens at x equals -4, -1, and 2. All right, concave up. F double prime is positive. So on the graph of F prime, it's if F prime is going up. And that happens from -5 to -4 and -1 to 2. It's in positive slope. F has positive slope. Not when F prime has positive slope, that's the concavity. F prime above x-axis. Okay, so when it's doing both from -5 to -4 and 1 to 2. All right, absolute minimum values, critical point or endpoint. We already did most of the work because we just figured out the areas. And again, absolute minimum, you can ignore the two maxes at -3 and 4, but it doesn't do any harm to put them in. So, okay, so the given one is that f of 1 is 3. So let's work our way backwards first. So this is working backwards. So you subtract the -2 prime. And then work backwards from there. You can use stupid notation in the middle of all of this because they don't even worry about it. They're worried about just the final answers. no calculator problem, but they assume that you know that 2 minus a half is 1.5. That much decimallage you can get away with. Now we'll go forwards. The triangle. Okay, be careful. Absolute minimum value is the output. Value is output. If they ask for the time, you say it's at time 1. Okay, point values. 2 points for this. Beta. 1 for the answer, 1 for the reasoning. 2 points for this. 1 point for the answer, 1 point for the reasoning. 2 points for this. 1 point for the concave up and positive slope when, 1 for saying when it is, and 1 for correctly getting the intervals. All right. 1 point for identifying x equals 1, and 1 point for identifying the endpoints. So you don't have to consider -3 and 4 because we already showed those were relative maxes. But you do have to figure out what the values are at the endpoints, or at least show that they're greater than 3. So this is 3 points.